But when you're looking at the highest ceiling right now, Malik Willis, man. He had a really his first day of practice, he had like the best throws of the day, but also the worst throws of the day. So I didn't.
Welcome back to the show. We start off the second half hour with a great guest who's joined us periodically throughout the football season. He does a great job on NBC Sports Philly, Dave Zangaro, and he's down at the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Bowl in Mobile, Alabama. Now, do you get provided with like a big gift basket of Reese's when you come there to cover the game?
Nothing yet. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the package.
Oh, man. I thought they'd at least give you the minis or something. You know what I mean?
They should. They should have like just Reese's products scattered about.
Well, you know, when I was in the Senior Bowl, they didn't really have a sponsor, so I didn't get anything. No, but I did get a bunch of NFL stuff. Now they gave me a bunch of NFL stuff, you know, like shorts and sweatsuits and stuff. So the NFL was sponsoring it back then. So I got NFL stuff.
Okay.
That's better.
Wow.
Right. Well,
peanut butter cups.
I don't know how long you've been down there, but what have you been able to take in yet? Is anything jumped out at you at these practices?
Yeah, we've seen 2 practices. It's a shame today. It's just a rain out, so they're moving it indoors. So I can't go. Yesterday, I kind of wish they did that because I stood outside in the rain for 5 hours. It's been fun. I always enjoy these practices because you come in with some expectations of, you know, here are the players I want to watch. And then every once in a while, someone like catches your eye and you're like, oh, I didn't expect that. Or sometimes it feels good too when you kind of expect someone to blow up down here and they do. And for me, that guy this year was Jermaine Johnson from Florida State. Interesting story. He was a JUCO kid, went to Independence, which was the school on Last Chance U. But then he went to Georgia for a couple years, didn't have a big role there. Transfers to Florida State for 2021 and has a really good year. I think people were kind of curious how he would handle. There's some pretty good tackles here, how he would handle them, and he's been dominant. He's been very, very good. Yeah, he was a potential first-round pick. He's a first-round pick now, I think for sure. And, I did a mock draft right before I came down here, and I had him at 19 to the Eagles. And now I'm feeling pretty good about it because I think he's a first-round pick. And you look at what they need, I'd put edge rusher at the top of their list.
Yeah,
in terms of needs. So I think he fits. And there are some other guys in that range.
Give me your download on Wyatt, man, from Georgia. I thought he was better than 99 that was from Georgia, but I thought Wyatt was a really good player. I think he kind of spearheaded that defense. You know, everybody talked that vaunted Georgia defense. I thought Wyatt was the catalyst in the middle with collapse in the pocket. You know, what do you think of him?
Yeah, he's been good. I mean, it's funny. There's a lot of good defensive tackles down here, and he's one of them. Him and Perion Winfrey from Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma,
yeah,
that's the guy we talked about yesterday.
Yep.
He's got a 35.5-inch arms, a wingspan of like 82 or something like that. Huge.
Yeah, he used it yesterday, man. He was wrecking everything. There's some really good defensive tackles. Logan Hall from Houston, kind of up and down week, but he's a really good player. It's funny, you know, you look at the Eagle. I try to like think everything with the Eagles, and defensive tackle's not like the most pressing need, but you look at it, and Fletcher is obviously getting a little long in the tooth. You have Javon Hargrave, who's really good, but he's entering a contract year. I like Milton Williams, but we still don't really know what he is long term. This is a position the Eagles value. I mean, maybe more than just about any other position on that side of the football. They value interior pass rush, and there's some good ones down here. I don't know if any of these guys are first round picks, but certainly day 2, early day 3, it wouldn't shock me to see them take one of these guys.
Speaking of the Eagles, who is down there that you can tell us for the Eagles?
Yeah, they have So here's who's here. Well, they might already be gone. They do a quick trip here. But they really go into it. I mean, they draft a ton of Senior Bowl players. 5 of their 9 picks last year, Senior Bowl players. 35% since Howie came back in the power in 2016. So they really do value these practices. Howie's here. Nick Sirianni's here. Jonathan Gannon is here as an Eagle. We'll see if he leaves.
Is he wearing a Texans hat?
Not yet. That's been kind of the big talk down here, though. Is like, is he going to be with the Eagles by the time this week is over? And we don't know. And that's, I'm going off topic here, but that's a big issue. I want to know. Well, this hiring cycle is taking so long for some of these jobs to get filled. Right now, the Eagles are scouting players to fit in his defense.
Right.
It's a difference. Like, if you think about, like, it almost makes you think they're going to have to keep some sort of similar defense if they're really going in and figuring out all these players that fit. That's a big deal,
It is,
I don't know.
Is.
It's a good scouting staff should be kind of an extension of the coaching staff. They're scouting to fit what you do. And if you don't know what you're going to do, how do you do it? Like, how do you do your job? But anyway, he's down here. Shane Steichen's down here. I saw Kevin Patullo down here. Who else? Obviously, all the scouts are down here. We have to mention Julian Laurie. He was on the field. People are making a big deal of that. I get, like, sometimes people see an owner on the field and they think, he's getting too involved in something he's not familiar with.
Personnel and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but to me, I saw it as, he's been a little more visible in recent years. And, Jeff Lurie's 70. He's not going to be here forever. He's not going to hold the – even if he's around, he might not be in charge of everything forever. And they're clearly grooming Julian to be the next owner of the team. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I really think it's a pretty good thing, honestly. I mean, Jeff Lurie's been a really good owner for the most part for his entire time here. So keeping that in the family.
About it. At least know something.
Yeah, and you look at Julian.
In nothing.
Yeah, Julian's been around his whole life.
Yeah.
He's learned about this, and he's taken the right steps. He did the NFL's program a couple years ago where it's a 2-year program. They try to, like, teach you every aspect of the front office. So I'd take that as a positive that he's here and he's ready to take a bigger role in the organization. Who else is here? I saw Connor Barwin down here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just trying to think of, like, who I've run into.
Connor Barwin for the Eagles?
Yeah, he's the assistant to Howie Roseman. Yeah. He's an interesting guy, Connor. I think he can do anything he wants. He could. Does
he ride his bicycle to work?
He used to. I don't know if he's still. Probably not in the winter.
Right. See, Barrett, I know this kind of stuff, man.
Yeah. He's he could. Man, he helped coach them this year. You know what he did this year? He was helping coach the offensive linemen.
Okay, that's perfect.
Wow,
that's perfect.
So he was
that's great. It doesn't pigeonhole you. Like Juan Castillo was a linebacker, but he coached O-line. Me, I know what I hated done to me. So exactly. I know I could go in and coach D-line. When I coached, when I did little, coaching, internships here and there, even in college, I coached a couple of defensive linemen, especially interior guys. And, just little things that I could teach them that I hated made them better players. So, yeah, that's great. So now he can learn all aspects of the line and line play.
Yeah, so I think it's really going to be up to him what he wants to do. If he wants to go into coaching, I think he'd be a great coach. He wants to go in the front office. I think he'd probably have a really good eye for talent evaluation. And he's doing a little bit of that. His title is assistant to the general manager, but I think they do listen to him.
Is there a lot of discussion about this whole Flores lawsuit down there? And really that could be what's going to make this hiring cycle even longer. Yeah,
it was really weird. So the story broke on Tuesday while we're watching practice, and the timing wasn't lost on anyone. Deuce Staley's out there coaching the American team, and here's a guy who probably hasn't had the opportunity he deserves.
Right,
and yeah, it's a big talk, and especially in the context of the Texans' job, which is either going to go to Josh McCown or Jonathan Gannon. Neither of them are qualified. They might end up being great coaches, but they're just not. They
haven't paid the dues yet. They haven't paid the dues like others. Yeah,
and that doesn't mean you're not going to be a good head coach,
right?
But the context is not lost on anyone. That right now, when Flores has this lawsuit, that the one job everyone's talking about is going to go to some unqualified white dude. It's unavoidable. It really is. And it was good to see two black GMs get hired this cycle, but it's having one black head coach in a league that's predominantly black just doesn't make any sense.
No, especially
when so many teams preach the importance of a coach connecting with their players.
I don't know. Yeah. That's something we're not even discussing.
And all this inclusion window dressing that the league has been rolling out here for the last year or two.
And look, like I don't think Brian Flores is going to be able to prove that the interviews he got were sham interviews. It's tough.
That's tough.
It's tough to prove intent of a front office. And honestly, the way I look at it is it's tough to break this cycle because naturally, I think with any job, if you're hiring for a high profile job, in the back of your mind, you probably think this is my main target, and things can change, but it's tough to break that cycle if your main target is someone who's been in the league because they've gotten the opportunity. Like, how do you wedge something in there and change everything? I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
I think the Rooney Rule is made with good intentions.
Good intent, yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. But you're trying to judge how billionaire owners handle their organizations.
That's
their business.
Yeah,
and it's really tough to tell them what to do.
Although I do love the visual of John Elway showing up drunk or hungover for an interview about a half hour, an hour late, all disheveled, his hair everywhere. That to me, I've gotten a lot of entertainment out of that over the last.
You know what? It is. It's I joke about stuff I shouldn't joke about, but the thought of Bill Belichick having just a moment where he texts the wrong person. Like, we've all been there, or like we're worried about that. And for him to do it on like the biggest stage possible, and now his mistake is like the centerpiece of a lawsuit against the league. Are you kidding me?
This is a gate.
It's fucked up.
It's text gate.
It's text gate. Yeah, yeah. But seriously, I don't know what the answer is because, I mean, you can't have one black coach in the league. How does that
32
happen?
teams is incredible. It really is.
Well, it happens because it's a billionaire boys club, and in order for the Rooney Rule to work, there has to be some intent from the owners. And it has to be intent.
At the root of a lot of this is the nepotism in the league, where daddy's son comes along and gets a job, and then he rises through ranks. And see, you look at like the ownership side of it. That's expected. That's how, it's a business. You pass along to your kids, but it shouldn't be like there should be some merit involved in coaching, and a lot of times there isn't. And it's strange because with players, all that matters is production, right? We hear that all the time. It doesn't matter where you're drafted. It doesn't matter who you are in the locker room, black, white, whatever. It doesn't matter as long as you produce. And it doesn't seem that coaches are held to that same standard. And I understand why so many people are pissed off about it.
Yeah, if only Sean McVay were black, then we'd have this whole thing would be solved because he's got a third of the league is like guys that were his people. It's unbelievable, man. We're gonna have another one now in Minnesota, I guess, right?
O'Connell? Yeah, it looks that way. Which is it takes him out of the Texans job, which means it's down to Gannon or McCown.
Jeez. All right, Barrett.
Looking at getting back on the Senior Bowl. What do you think about Trey Burks? I'll get into the offensive line later, but Trey Burks, the other receivers that are down there.
Yeah, the receivers are down here. I was really, well, he's not down here actually.
Okay, all right.
But there are some good ones. I really wanted to see Jahan Dotson from Penn State.
Yes.
And he pulled out. Two of the guys I really wanted to see down here were Jahan Dotson and Devin Lloyd. They both pulled out. So.
Oh, they did? Devin Lloyd pulled out also?
Yeah, Devin Lloyd pulled out, so I haven't been able to watch him this week. So I was disappointing, but there are good linebackers I've been watching. Receivers. I get off track. Let me look through
them too.
Well, let me look through the receivers real quick. Alec Pierce from Cincinnati, big body. He's been all right. Don't like any of the national guys.
Yeah, Pierce is a big
Some
body
of the
guy that can
receivers are
run.
fun. The little Velus Jones from Tennessee, hit or miss, man. He's had some great routes this week, and then he'll just drop the ball, or like he's been hit or miss.
Sounds like he'd be perfect.
Yeah,
actually.
Honestly, the one who's impressed me most is the kid from South Alabama. It's kind of like a home deal for him, Jalen Tolbert. He's got some skills, and this is a good opportunity for a kid like that to come here and kind of show off what he can do against some really good corners. He's been very good. I'm thinking he's going to rise up some boards. Kid from North Dakota State, actually, big kid, like 6'4", Christian Watson. Looks like he belongs.
He didn't play the last game I did. He didn't play the last game.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. There's a little I'm knowing numbers now from Memphis, 83. Quick little guys, like 5'9", ton of moves on him. I don't think there's a ton of – it's a good receiver class in general. The top guys aren't here. The top receiver here would have been Dotson, but there are a bunch of middle round, late round guys with some skills and some flaws, but guys that, if the Eagles are looking in a middle to late round would make sense. Bo Melton, a local kid from Cedar Creek and Ruckers, had a really good day yesterday. Undersized, but a lot of speed.
USC wide receiver in there?
Who?
The kid from USC?
Oh, the big
6'5"?
kid?
London?
No, he's not
London.
here.
Yeah.
Drake London's not here.
Yeah. What about that big tackle from Minnesota, Faalele or something? He's like 6'9". Faalele.
He's huge. He's had a rough week, and there are some really good rushers here.
Yeah,
he got run over yesterday by the Penn State linebacker, who's like 240 pounds. He just got off balance. He has skills. He has the body type. He has some athleticism, and a coach is going to be like, "I want that guy." I think he weighed in. He was like 6'8" or 6'9", 375.
Wow,
he's a house.
Yeah.
But
7 foot wingspan.
He has some growth.
He needs some
ahead of him. Especially I've seen him get beat on inside moves a lot.
Well, that's because he can't redirect. He's not really a great athlete. Is Kenyon Green looking all right from Texas A&M?
Oh, the guard, the
guard center,
the guard. Yeah, I haven't noticed him much.
That's good when you're an offensive lineman. That's good.
Yeah, the only the one thing I have noticed is I mentioned the defensive tackles. They are just wrecking shop. So it's been tough, honestly. They've made practices tough.
They're causing chaos, Barrett.
Yeah.
Chaos. You see tackles.
The Winfrey kid yesterday busted through the line. It was so quick. It was like it was wrecked the play. Who else? Zion from BC is here. Zion Johnson.
Yeah.
He took some center reps.
What?
Yeah, I like it. He's been the best offensive lineman here.
Wow. From Boston College, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. What about quarterbacks? Which guys are there, and is anybody impressed? And was Howie, did he come in here and take a flyby on the quarterbacks? And
yeah, most of the top ones are here except for Matt Corral, who honestly is my favorite of the bunch.
Yeah, of course, the injury though. Yeah.
But
Carson
the ones
Strong's got an arm, man.
Carson Strong has an arm. You don't know where the ball's going sometimes. He's been fun to watch because he's chucking the ball downfield. Kenny Pickett to me is the safest bet. He checks all the boxes. I know people are worried about his weird disjointed thumb, and he can't. I'm not worried about that. He gripped the ball fine yesterday in the rain. But when you're looking at the highest ceiling right now, Malik Willis, man. He had a really his first day of practice, he had like the best throws of the day, but also the worst throws of the day. So I didn't know what to make of it. Day 2, he was great.
He's like a Trey Lance in this draft, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, I like that. Like highest. He's athletic. Strong arm, and not like Carson Strong has a strong arm, like deep ball. Malik can fire it in there.
Oh wow!
I mean, he can when you're looking for like that pure, like that laser beam throw, he has that. And he's been fun to watch with that upside. He's the upside guy. Desmond Ritter's been up and down.
Barrett and I agreed that if Carson Strong comes to Philly, he has to change his name to Carl Strong.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've been calling
it is weird
Carl
talking
Strong
about a Carson.
It really is.
Yeah, it's been weird talking about Carson down here. I mean, people don't realize how that 2016 Senior Bowl down here is where it all started with Wentz. It was like they fell in love with him down here. And that was where they said, we got to get this guy. And you came into that week thinking maybe they can sit at 13 and draft him. And they left that week thinking, oh, we got to figure out a way to move up. And that's where they started to.
It went from 13 to 8 and then to 2, right?
Yeah, that the combines where they talked about moving up to 8. And then, they had to figure it out because they fell in love with him back then.
Well, I'm sitting back looking at my guy, the offensive tackle from Northern, was it Northern
Iowa?
I think it's Penning or something. Yeah.
He's played well.
Has he?
He's played well. And he's gotten some inside reps too.
Oh, did
guard.
He?
Yeah.
I thought he was strictly a tackle.
But he was. But that down here, a lot of times they like to rep you at different places just to show the NFL teams what you can do in different spots. He's been good. He's been one of the better offensive linemen down here. He's probably going to be, outside of the quarterbacks, he's probably going to be the first guy who's at this game who's going to get drafted.
Wow. Okay.
Or one of the first, I would think. He's going to be a high first round pick. He's looked good. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else I want to talk about. Oh, tight ends. Tight ends down here. This is a good group of tight ends.
You were saying that.
Trey McBride from Colorado State is the best of the bunch down here. Might be a second round pick. I mean, he's really good. Jeremy Ruckert, a guy who I didn't really know much about. I know he was at Ohio State, but they don't throw him the ball because they have, they have some receivers.
Right,
4 of them.
Yeah. So, I mean, he caught 26 balls as a senior. So you're thinking maybe he's not that good as a pass catcher. He's a pretty good pass catcher. He just didn't get the chances down there. He kind of reminds me of remember how like Dallas Goedert didn't catch the ball a ton?
Yep.
At South Dakota. Kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Yeah, different reasons for not passing the ball, but Ruckert's been really good down here, and there's a few of those guys. Kid from Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, he's good. He's really good.
Isaiah Likely. Yeah.
Is that tight end? Was that tight end? Is that tight end from Nevada? A senior that we talked about yesterday, Barrett.
Looks like a receiver, a tall receiver.
He's like 6'6".
Yeah, he's down here, and Carson Strong's playing with him. And he's been targeting him quite a bunch. It's a good tight end class in general, and the tight ends down here are very good. Eagles could draft a tight end in the middle round.
I can see that. I can see that because you look at what's his name, Trey, our tight end we had Jackson.
Yeah.
Or Jackson.
Oh, Tyree Jackson.
Yeah,
Tyree Jackson. Yeah, he's a late ACL tear. You don't know what you're going to get from him.
And plus, he's kind of Bambi-esque right now. He's still a little clumsy in how he runs routes.
Yeah, he didn't look all that athletic, that graceful even prior to the injury. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, Jack Stoll is good for what he is, but you could see them wanting to upgrade that spot. And he doesn't give you a ton in the passing game. It's not like they're going to run the passing game through their second tight end. They have other guys they want to target. But if you can find another dual threat type player in a middle round, I wouldn't cross that off the list.
All right, now
you know what? That Zion Johnson, that's intriguing to me because I watched a lot of film on him. I was doing a Temple game, and I was watching film on him, and he can move, physical, dominant type of guy. You say he moved in the center too?
He took. I mean, he hasn't been like just a center, but he snapped the ball a little bit. Yeah, it looked all right.
Wow. Because I like him, man. I like him a lot. I mean, I like him a whole lot.
If he played at BC, he's a good run blocker.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. And after the one practice, someone caught him on the field, like well after practice ended, snapping the ball. So he's working on it. I like when an offensive lineman teams value versatility.
Yeah.
They really do. We know the Eagles do, but a lot of teams do. It was even like Jack Driscoll when what was that 2 years ago when I drafted him. He's only ever played guard and tackle, and it was a tackle. I mean, Eagles liked him at guard, but he started snapping the ball in the pre-draft process. They wanted, and the Eagles liked that about it. And they said, well, we don't think you'll ever be a center, but we want to see it.
Do. That's
exactly.
why I played an extra 4 years because of that. I played an extra 4 years because I played center also.
What about the running back Abram Smith from Baylor, the former linebacker? Is he down there?
Yeah. I don't even know. I haven't noticed him, so that's not a good sign for him. I'll tell you the two running backs who have stood out: Robinson from Alabama,
Brian
and
Robinson.
Pierce from Florida.
Okay.
They didn't use Pierce at Florida. He can play, and that's intriguing to me. There's something about a running back without a lot of tread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or sorry, with a lot of tread left on the tires. Like, they didn't use him a ton at Florida.
Yeah.
He can run through the tackles. He's a little raw when it comes to catching out of the backfield, but he can pass protect. I've seen that from him. They did some, of course, Deuce running the American team had some pass pro drills yesterday for the running backs. That was fun. But the Eagles could use a hard-nosed complement to Miles and Kenny Gainwell.
No doubt.
Yeah, I think Howard his tread is all gone now. We've maximized that tread from that tire.
Yeah,
you can't even use a dime to check the tread level now.
Oh man, look at you. Now the stream wants to know if you're sharing a room with Ruben, Frank.
No, I'm down here by myself this week.
Why the hell did they send me, man? That's the damnest thing ever.
Yeah, he's
why
pissed.
Would they send
he's
me?
upset.
I'd love to be down here with you, man.
Right.
We'd have fun watching these practices.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that, man. Love it.
I really do enjoy it. And like half of my time down here is like it's networking. It's honestly it's trying to run into people and spending my nights out too late. But I really do just enjoy watching practices and seeing who shines. A couple of corners have looked good. Kobe Bryant from Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Who I don't know if he's ever going to be a true number one in the NFL. He was the number two at
Gardner's the number one there.
Gardner's really good, but Stingley's up there too. Well, his first 2 years he was better. Yeah. Yeah,
well, Stingley, who knows? Highest potential, but the injury's scary a little bit. But Kobe, he saw a ton of action his way, and that's what you need from a number two is like if you have someone on the other side like Gardner who's just no one's throwing that way, they're going to throw your way and you have to be ready for it. That's why if you have in a weird way, if you have a top corner, your second corner better be good because he's going to see a lot of action. And that's what we saw 2 years ago. And the difference really with the Eagles in 2020 and 2021, 2020, they had Avonte Maddox out there. Wasn't his fault. He just wasn't not a CB2. Last year, Steven Nelson wasn't great, but having a better option at that spot makes a big difference when people are going to stay away from Slay.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, man, I really appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
you down there, and I've already texted Doug. We're gonna do a Senior Bowl breakdown show, man. I'm gonna try to get this going, man.
There you go. I like that.
That's awesome. One last thing, we see the drapes. The stream wants to know what's the carpet. What's the color of the carpet? Does it match the drapes?
It's your stream's getting a little.
Oh, this is the way our stream is.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't have anywhere to do these. I did my podcast from in here too.
Yeah,
so this is the best I could do. I have hotel room artwork on the other wall.
Oh yeah,
and it's like I had to move rooms when I got here.
View?
Is there a view of the rain? It's just
is that it? Oh wow.
Yeah.
That stinks.
I got down here, my first room, the AC wouldn't turn off. It was like 30 degrees. I was like, you guys gotta find another spot for me, man. Yeah.
That's what you get, man, for being down in Mobile, man. I get it all the time traveling to these games and these, it's like you fly into the Golden Triangle, you got to drive 2 hours here. It's the worst in the world, man.
I love the people down here, though, man. The people down here, their favorite thing is teaching you how to say Mobile.
Yeah, Mobile.
You got to say, if you say mobile, God forbid you say mobile,
right.
they will spend the next half hour working on it with.
That's a gas station. Mobile. Yeah. Mobile, right? Yeah. And how's the food? The food's got to be seafood's got to be good down there, right?
Tremendous. Yeah. It's everyone thinks like, I tell them I'm going to Alabama and they think I'm like in Tuscaloosa.
Backwoods. Yeah.
And you're not. I mean,
Deliverance.
Mobile is a cool city. I'd never been here before. I think 2016 was my first Senior Bowl down here, but it's a cool vibe to it. It's like it's on the water. It has some New Orleans flair. Mardi Gras actually started in Mobile,
really,
but more as like they still do it here, but it's like more of a family environment than what people think of it in New Orleans. But yeah, it's a cool little vibe to the city.
Cool.
And it's not like every time you turn around a corner you hear don 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 don.
Yeah, no,
you
it's
got
not
a
like
pretty
that.
mouth.
I've been in places like that. This isn't that. Yeah.
Well,
you think that once you pass down there, man. There are some places like that, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there are for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for jumping on, Dave. We appreciate it. Follow him on Twitter at Zangaro NBCS, and we'll look forward to more from the Senior Bowl from you. Thanks.
All right, guys. Take care. Thanks.
Great
Appreciate
stuff. Yeah, love that. How about the stream asking if the carpet matches the drapes in the room?
Only our show. We want to know it all, man.
Only our show would that happen on. You're not getting that anywhere else. I can promise you that. All right, hour number 2 coming up next.